welcome back to another video with DIYs by Carolina. I hope you guys are doing well and having a wonderful and blessed Sunday. So in today's video, you already know, especially those of you who have been following with your girl for a minute now, y'all know I have a tendency to change my mind quite a bit. My projects literally end up taking on a mind of its own, and unfortunately this project is no different. So now I want to go through the steps and show you guys how I actually built this garden pergola privacy screen. So I'm super excited. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so right quickly before we get started, I just want to kind of show you guys the space. And you can see here where I removed the other privacy screen. And also I have these boards laid out over here to show me just kind of where I want to place the holes for the post. And these boards are actually 8 feet apart. So I do have 3 of those, and I'm going to go ahead and get started with doing my post, with putting the post in the ground, and I'll show you guys in a second how I did that. And here's a look at the gravel that I'm going to be using. And they're like these little small gray rocks, but I'll show you guys what they look like. So I'm gonna just put a little bit of that in there, and that's just gonna help with drainage. So here's a look at the gravel I'm going to be putting in the holes, and this is just some all-purpose gravel. And again, this is really, really great to help with drainage. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that right quickly. So what I'm doing at the moment, y'all, is just basically screwing these boards into the bottom of the post. This is going to keep the post standing straight up and prevent it from tipping over. And this is something that you can do if you're completing this project by yourself. So that way, if you don't have anyone helping you or any assistance, no big deal. This is all you have to do. If you're a DIY enthusiast and visiting my channel for the first time, welcome. My name is Carolina, and I'm your go-to guide for all things do-it-yourself. Whether you're a seasoned DIYer or maybe you're just getting started, you're definitely in the right place. On this channel, you'll find tips, tricks, and tutorials to help you create something amazing. Whether it's outdoor landscaping, home remodeling, or even interior design. I believe that with a little creativity and the right tools, anyone can turn their ideas into a reality. So if you're ready to roll up your sleeve and get crafty, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a project. All right, so here's a quick look at everything after I've put all the posts in the ground. The only thing left to do now is to add the quick drying concrete, and I'm gonna go ahead and do that right quickly. And while that's setting, I'm gonna go ahead and just take a maybe about an hour and a half break. Yeah, y'all, it's hot out here. So yeah, so that's what I'm about to do at the moment. I do want to just kind of tell you guys that before you do any of these projects where you're installing privacy screens on your fence or whatever the case is, make sure you check with your HOA. If you have HOA in your neighborhood, if your neighborhood requires that, definitely check with them first, and also check with your local county ordinance because sometimes some of these projects may or may not require a permit. So just wanted to make sure I remind you guys of that. All right, so I have already added the concrete. I had to let my phone charge a little bit because my battery is starting to die. So now I'm just going to add add some water to this and let it dry and set. All right, so I want to show you guys my progress so far. So you'll notice that I kind of put like these squared caps on the top of these posts, and I did that because, and I have to finish nailing them down or screwing them in. I did that because I wanted to give the post that added height that I lost when I buried it almost 2 feet in the ground. So I just extended the wood above the post, and I'll show you guys in a second what that looks like. So the post actually stops about right here. So I went ahead and just extended those up again, just to kind of make up for the height that I lost when I buried these posts in the ground. So that's the main purpose of me adding these boards, and just kind of, you know, just to kind of increase the height of it, I guess. So you can see here, I've already added the first privacy lattice, or the lattice panel. And to help me to get this up here and to nail it in, what I did was I screwed in these screws here just a little ways in, and I did it for each end of the post. And so that way I'm able to sit them up here until I get ready to staple them. So then that way I don't need assistance. I could literally just place them on top of the screws here. So that's what I've been doing, and I'll show you guys that when I hang this other panel here. That's how I'm able to just kind of prop it up until I actually nail it to the post. And so right now I haven't nailed it yet, just wanted to show you guys. So in case if this is something you want to do and you don't have any assistance, just screw the screw in just a little bit, just to prop the panels up on the screw. And that's now all I have to do basically is just climb the ladder and go ahead and start stapling the panels, or nailing the panels into the post. Y'all, so it's been a few days later actually. I've been mostly concentrating on projects in my front yard, just trying to upkeep the yard and the front area, making sure everything was nice and pristine. So didn't get a chance to get back out here until now. So I want to just go ahead and show you what I'm doing. I'm actually cutting the boards to put at the top of the, you know, for the pergola look, basically the little pergola looking boards, I guess. So I'm just cutting those boards at a 45-degree angle, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. So let's go. All right, y'all, so you can kind of see here. So this is the board that I'm going to be using. I've already marked my 45-degree angle. You can see one here. And over here. And I don't have a saw table or anything, so I usually make my cuts on the deck rail, y'all. So maybe one day I'll get a saw table, but in the meantime, this is what works, because it's not like I do a whole lot of cutting. And to get me those 45-degree measurements, I use this rafter. And basically all I did was, and I'll just show you what I did, how I marked it off. Here's the 45-degree, you can see that here. I did it. Oh. So with that one, I just turned it this way, made my point, and vice versa. So that's all I did. So now I'm gonna use my new Ryobi saw that I absolutely love, my circular saw, to cut this 45-degree angle so I can go ahead and start making the pergola boards to put on top of the privacy fence, or privacy pergola, I guess. All right, so here's a quick look at how everything is looking so far. Now I'm going to go ahead and start adding the pergola shaped boards that I cut out on top of it. And I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of nail that down using my brad nail gun with 2-inch brad nails. All right, so I've started cutting the boards. You can see I kind of placed them on top of the pergola just to kind of get an idea of what they will look like, and if I wanted to, you know, space them out a little bit or bring them in a little closer. So most of them are laying flat. There's only like a couple that are standing up straight. I haven't nailed any of them yet because I'm gonna go ahead and paint them first. So I do want to mention that it was never in the plan to stain this privacy pergola screen. Remember, guys, we had talked about just, you know, keeping it natural, like the color of the fence. Well, I decided at the last minute, once I had built it, that I wanted to stain it. And so that's what happened here. But typically, I would actually stain all the boards, all the panels before putting this together, because it would have made my job a lot easier, a lot more efficient. So don't make the same mistake I did. Make up your mind early before you put everything together, whether you want to stain it or not. All right, y'all, so it's been a few days. It has. Haven't really done too much in the yard except for a lot of staining the privacy pergola along with the little picket boards that I'm going to be installing in a few minutes. So yeah, so I want to show y'all what these pickets look like. Again, you saw where I cut them out in a 40-degree angle, and y'all, let me just say, looking at this, your girl want to go ahead and paint the whole fence this color. I want to go ahead and stain the whole fence now. I'm sorry. I love this color stain. It's just such a nice, rich chocolate stain. It's so pretty. So I don't know. Depending on how I feel, or I'm just gonna look at it a little bit longer, but I might be painting these fences this color here, y'all. I'm sorry. I love this color. I absolutely love this color. So yeah, that's where I'm at in terms of the stain. So yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started with installing these pickets on top of this little Pergola privacy screen so we can wrap this up, y'all. So let's do it. So right quickly, here's a look at the little pickets that I cut a couple of days ago. And I've already gone ahead and stained them back and front. So yeah, now I'm just gonna go ahead and start installing them so I can get this pergola done. All right, y'all, so I have made the decision to paint or to stain my fence the same color that I'm doing this privacy pergola. I'm sorry, I love this color. I think it's going to make my pergola privacy screen pop even more. I'm excited about it, so that's what I'm about to do. I'm going to go ahead and get started with painting the fence. Now granted, I'm not going to be able to paint all of it, but I am going to paint the area that's included in this landscape, since this is the area that I am concentrating on. And you can kind of see behind me here that my pergola is still not quite completed because I ran out of pickets. So I had to run out twice and get some more boards, cut them, and let me tell you, the most tedious part is painting them, painting the pickets. You could paint them with the sprayer, but to get that nice, dark, rich stain, you need a roller. So that's what I had to do. Paint one side, wait for it to dry, and you had to paint them twice. You had to go over them twice to get that nice, dark richness. So yeah, it is what it is. But anyway, let's go ahead, since I'm waiting on these pickets here to dry. You can see here, this should do the trick. This should be enough to cover all of the remaining privacy pergola, fingers crossed. So I'm just waiting on these to dry, and in the meantime, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get started with staining my fence. Why not? Y'all, so the time is 8:39 p.m. 72 degrees outside at the moment, and your girl is still out here, y'all. Oh my goodness. So I did run out of the stain. I actually had a little bit left over in a 5-gallon bucket that I did for my front yard project. So it wasn't that much to begin with, but it was enough to completely stain the entire pergola and just get started with staining the fence area. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of scrape the bottom of the bucket and just try to get as much of the fence area painted as I can tonight. I think I'm gonna stop off at exactly 9 o'clock. So that gives me about 20 more minutes. All right, y'all, so it is the next day. It's a little after 5 p.m. and I'm out here trying to wrap up doing this portion of the fence. Again, I know I'm not going to be able to complete all of the fencing in terms of staining it in this video. That's cool, that's okay. I just want to do as much as I can, because whatever I don't do today, I'll pick up on next week where I left off. But I'm so loving it. Not liking, I love it so far. So anyway, let me go ahead and try and do as much as I can so we can go ahead and try and get this video wrapped up. So let's do this. All right, so before the final reveal, let's go back and take a look and be reminded as to what the space used to look like before we actually incorporated the privacy pergola and before we stained the fences. So now let's take a look and see what our progress looks like. All right, y'all, so it is the next day. Just wanted to show you guys my progress so far. So as you can see, I managed to paint almost this entire back portion of the fence. I still have that little piece there in the corner, but other than that, this whole back area is completed. I still have to stain this portion here, and this is something I'll probably do in next week's video. Just go ahead and finish staining it, but I love the way this looks. I mean, it's centered with my backyard space. I love the fact that when I turn the corner of my deck, this is what greets me. This is what I see. And what I plan to do in this area is I want to actually add some beautiful flowers. I already have the flowers that I want to put here, and I want to put, I don't know the name of these hedges, but they're so bright green. They're like a really bright green. And I'm thinking about putting some of those along the edge of the fence, and then I'll probably also include some hostas and some other plants. But I really love the way this turned out. It looks absolutely amazing. So I still have to, I don't know if I think I'm gonna still paint that bottom portion of the fence here. It's kind of dirty, has a lot of dirt, because when it rains, the dirt kicks up from the ground. So I am going to be staining that next week as well. Of course, whenever I plant my hostas and my other plants that I have in mind, that will not even show. But yeah, so this is just kind of where I'm at. Just wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of what the space is looking like, especially since I went ahead and stained the fence. Perfect decision. I'm so glad I decided to do that, because I absolutely love the way this looks. So that brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. If you enjoyed today's content, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, and I will see you guys really soon in my next video. Bye now.